Okay students, welcome in this video lecture. In this video lecture, we are going to study two methods of extraction. There are two well-known methods used during the extraction. One is the batch extraction and another one is the counter current extraction. Okay? Batch extraction and counter current extraction or continuous extraction. Now first we see what is batch extraction. Initially we have studied a one simple sophisticated instrument which is used for extraction process, that is the separatory funnel. This separatory funnel is particularly used for batch extraction. As per the name, batch extraction means what? Extraction is carried out by batches or installment. Initially, we are taking 10 separatory funnel. Both solvents are added, solute to be added, and the shaking is given. Number of installations, number of extractions is given to that particular process, and then stop or stand for some time, and then separation is carried out. This is a single batch. So batch extraction is the simplest and most commonly used method. Consists of extracting the solute from two immiscible layer or one immiscible layer into other by shaking the two layers until equilibrium is attained. शेक करत राहायचं, इक्विलिब्रियम सेट झाल्यानंतर थांबायचं, दोन लेयर सेपरेट होतील, आफ्टर विच layer is allowed to settle before sampling. So this is a single batch. Batch wise functioning is carried out. This is most commonly used method on small scale in the laboratories, chemical laboratory. In our laboratory, we are going to use this batch extraction process. How easily available solvent system is water and benzene, or water and carbon tetrachloride, and those solute we have to separate. Its solution is added, shake that particular separatory funnel and left for some time, that is 15 minutes, half hour, and then whenever two layers are formed, then separate these two layers. Another you have to take, if another extraction, then you can use the number of extractions, but one batch is carried out in small scale. So this is the batch extraction process. Most commonly employed apparatus for performing a batch extraction is the separatory funnel. We have already seen this. The very useful sophisticated instrument which is used is in the batch process is the separatory funnel. Is it right? So in batch extraction process, separatory funnel is used. Then the batch extraction may also be used with advantage when the distribution ratio is large. कधी यूज करायचं batch extraction? Whenever two solutes or more than two solutes are having a distribution ratio very large. ज्या वेळेस डिस्ट्रीब्युशन रेशो हा जास्त असतो दोन सोल्यूट मधला, त्यावेळेस आपण त्या दोन सोल्यूटचं एक्सट्रॅक्शन हे कुठल्या प्रोसेसने करू शकतो? बॅच एक्सट्रॅक्शन प्रोसेस. सो what are the points? Remember that is batch extraction is nothing but batch extraction is carried out in a small scale in a single batch, एक batch. For this batch extraction process, separatory funnel is used. In our laboratory, mostly batch extraction process is used for separation of solute. And what is the major condition for separation? That is those solute which is heavy. ratio, that is particularly which ratio, that is a distribution ratio which is having large, then such type of solutes can be separated by using batch extraction process. Okay, so this is about batch extraction. Then second important type of extraction is the counter current extraction process, or this type of extraction is also known as continuous extraction process. Continuous. Now in batch extraction, we carry out a extraction in a single batch, double batch, three batch, but it is not continuous. In countercurrent extraction, extraction is always carried out by a continuous process. Continuous distribution of solute is the third general type, and it is used primarily for fractionation purpose. Primarily for fractionation purpose. So, whenever any solutes which are having very close distribution ratio or similar distribution ratio, then such type of solute can be separated by using counter current extraction process. Which one? That is counter current extraction process. So counter current extraction is the continuous process which is carried out whenever the distribution ratio is very close. Second thing, the separation through continuous countercurrent method is achieved by virtue of density difference between the fluids is in contact. जर त्यांची डेन्सिटी सारखी असेल, कमी फरक असेल डेन्सिटीमध्ये, तर ह्या टाईपचे सोल्यूट सुद्धा आपण कुठल्या मेथडनं फाइंड आउट करू शकतो, सेपरेट करू शकतो. इट इज बाय युजिंग काउंटर करंट एक्सट्रॅक्शन process. Then in vertical columns, the denser phase enters at the top and flow downwards, while the less denser phase enters from the top of the and flows in upward direction. Means in countercurrent method, those two solute we have to separate. One phase is having higher density, another phase is having lower density. In vertical two columns, दोन column असतील vertical typeचे, then denser phase enters at the top of the column and a low denser phase is entered from towards bottom side and enters in upward direction. So in countercurrent method, continuously two phases are comes in contact with each other. That is, one phase is the denser phase, another phase is the particularly which type of phase, that is a weaker phase having lower density. These are particularly move in opposite direction via column which comes in contact with each other. And then the choice method to be employed will be depends on primarily upon the value of distribution of ratio of solute of interest. ज्यांचा डिस्ट्रीब्युशन रेशो क्लोज असेल अशा टाईपचे जे सबस्टन्स आहेत ते आपण ह्या मेथडने काय करू शकतो, पर्टिक्युलरली सेपरेट करू शकतो. सो ए मेथड कुठले इन्स्ट्रुमेंट यूज केलं जातं काउंटर करंट मेथडमध्ये, ते इन काउंटर करंट मेथड the whenever number of liquids which we are going to use in counter current extraction, the separation of substance, this method is investigated. कोणी शोध लावला या मेथडचा? This method is investigated by the scientist Lyman C. Craig in 1943 with inventor, that is the apparatus which is used for counter current method is a Craig apparatus, or this apparatus is also known as Craig tube. Again I will repeat, counter current method is the multiple extraction method or liquid extraction method which permit the separation of substance with different distribution coefficient or ratio. This method is discovered by the scientist, that is Lyman C. Craig. Lyman C. Craig in 1942, and he used the instrument that is Craig tube or Craig apparatus having structure like this. क्रेग ॲपरेटरचं स्ट्रक्चर पहा कसं असतं. क्रेग ॲपरेटरचं स्ट्रक्चर दिस इज क्रेग ॲपरेटस. स्टार्ट ऑफ सायकल जिथं दाखवलेलं आहे. ही जी ट्यूब आहे त्या ट्यूबला आपण म्हणतो क्रेग ट्यूब. अँड धिस ट्यूब इज पर्टिक्युलरली युज्ड for the purpose of separation, that is Craig countercurrent tube, or the method is known as a Craig countercurrent method. So this is the Craig tube which is used for the purpose of separation of different types of liquid. Okay, now at this level we stop. In next half lecture we see how the Craig tube and its working takes place. Okay, thank you.